A person's fragrance says a lot about their character, and spritzing yourself with a delightful niche fragrance has become a luxury of self-expression. Entrepreneur Sade James, no doubt a fashionista, a lady of style and grace, knows that your fragrance should say a lot about you. She has carefully selected UAE's finest perfumes, making it available right here in South Africa. There is certainly a fragrance within her wide selection to match your character and suit any occasion. Whether you are a fan of the fruity, orientals, florals, aquatics, gourmand, and more, at UAE Fragrances you will have it all. The most luxurious brands available. Let your scent introduce you.
Hello and welcome to Dining and Vibing in South Africa. My name is Ravi and today we are exploring Durban, my hometown. Whilst ambience and fine dining is of absolute importance, it's also important to take into consideration the energy that surrounds a restaurant and especially with the great vibration that comes from it. Today, I'd love for you to join me at the iconic Roma Revolving restaurant in Durban.
Durban City has the busiest container port in Africa and one of the busiest in the Southern Hemisphere. Durban's harbour docks some of the world's largest super ships. There's always something about a harbour view, and what better way to capture its magnificent beauty from a staggering height of 32 stories. Imagination, Einstein told us, is more powerful than knowledge. To an extent, when we either fail or stagnate, it's because we flunked the test of imagination. It's the mental ability that has gifted us rockets and computers and, of course, revolving restaurants. Whether you seek stunning views, unique locations, or candlelit romance, the Roma Revolving Restaurant has what you need. Stunning harbour and city views to capture the glorious days and amazing sunsets tucked away in Durban's waterfront. According to certain accounts, the idea of revolving restaurants hankers back to the Roman Empire period. Emperor Nero's Canaccio Rotunda had a rotating dining room. It was located in his palace on Palatine Hill, which is still today among the favorite attractions in Rome. The Revolving Roma restaurant is one of 3 rotating restaurants in the world, engineering to give South Africans a breathtaking experience. This venue is known for amazing cuisine, a beautiful ambiance, and great service. This restaurant was established in Durban in 1973. This fine dining venue prides itself in a tantalizing Italian cuisine. A survey carried out by YouGov in 2019 discovered that over 80% of people in the world count Italian food among their favorites, followed by Chinese and Japanese. Indeed, I've yet to meet a single person who doesn't rank pizza and pasta highly on their list of go-to foods. Simplicity has always been in fashion, and in the food culture, Italian cuisine takes the top spot. The ingredients used in Italian recipes are known for their simplicity, which makes them easily available, convenient to use, being one of the factors that plays a crucial role in the popularity of Italian food culture. The restaurant is now a property of the Reelan Group, who also pride themselves in fine wines. Today, I get to indulge in a first-class dining experience.
Welcome to Dining and Vibing South Africa. Today is an absolute privilege and pleasure to be with restaurateur and the iconic Mr. Gino of the Roma Revolving restaurant here in Durban. Well, it's been a long 5 decades, but it seems like yesterday. I'm so happy to be in his company today to enlighten all our viewers about this remarkable and iconic restaurant in the heart of Durban. Good evening, Mr. Gino. It is truly a pleasure to be sitting with you again right here at the Roma Revolving restaurant.
Pleasure of mine to be with you, Ravi.
Absolutely.
We've
Thank you very
been friends
much.
for many years, and a great pleasure to be here.
Indeed, we have. It's been a few decades that I've been, utilizing the services of the Roma Revolving restaurant, and it must be told at the outset that every time I'm here, there's always a consistency. There's never been a time where, I've been disappointed or upset in any way, and that's what makes not only people like myself, but the rest of our patrons always coming back to Roma Revolving restaurant. I know I did a bit of research and I found that we're well over 5 decades of the restaurant business. I'd love for you to talk us through this journey starting from 1972.
Yes, I started with a great man. His name was Mr. Ribeiro. He was the original owner, but he was a great chef. He was a great person, great chef of the royal family in Italy during the war and after the war. And when I started with him, 29 of September 1972, we opened the restaurant. Mr. Ron Williams, he was the mayor of Durban. Never forgotten, it was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We start, full house, they were all guests. And everybody had to dress up, jacket and tie. Absolutely top elite. Everything was pure silver. Everything was crystal on the table. And we start. And after a few months of Mr. Ribeiro, you can see I was getting more and more excited about it. So after, I think about a year, Mr. Ribeiro said to me, I can see you love restaurant business. I want to make you my partner. Wow. I said, with the what, Mr. Ribeiro? I haven't got a 1 penny in my pocket. Don't worry about money. Leave it to me. I want you to be my partner. I will draw the paper, you will sign, but one condition. One day I know you're going to own this restaurant. One condition, you come with me on the kitchen for 1 year and you learn every single dish is on the menu.
Wow.
No one must tell you, I don't know. Or you can go and make an observation to the chef and say, this is not right. If you don't know how to do it, the chef will turn around, okay, you show me how to do better. You needed to show him how to do better. I did. I stayed with him for 1 year to the kitchen. I learned every single dishes by a masterpiece man. There's no question about it. In 51 years almost I'm in this restaurant, I never met a chef like that. I had many chefs, many, from different parts of the world, Italian, but no chef can compare with Mr. Ribeiro. He was unique, very professional, very dedicated, very neat, very clean man. And I learned everything.
He certainly sounds like an inspiration for you.
Oh, definitely. And the reason why the restaurant's always been very stable, because from day one, when I become a partner, I do the buy for the restaurant.
Sure.
Every single pieces of meat, fish, dry good, whatever, I buy. Not my chef. And I sell it. I don't let the waiter go to the table and recommend the dishes. I go because I know what I buy. I know the way it's prepared 100%. So there's no misunderstanding. I try to let the staff teach and learn how to take the order. But every day, at the end of the day, 3, 4, 5 dishes in the kitchen, mistake. Customer return it. Oh, no one told me there's a garlic. No one told me there's onions. No one told me there's a rosemary. No one told me this. So I said, hey, stop it. Stop it right there. In this restaurant, until I'm alive, I'm the only one to take the order. Because I do the buying. I know where I buy the goods. I know what I buy. And Mr. Ribeiro, one thing he said to me, Gino, remember, never compromise in quality. Compromise any way you want, but never ever, doesn't matter how bad is the business, never compromise in quality. And that's what I've been doing for the last 50 years plus.
And I think you've done a remarkable job of that, because as a guest myself at your restaurant, I've always found that kind of consistently. And I think it's such a personalized touch, having not only a restaurateur and owner, but also a person like yourself coming and personally taking orders, adding that special and that extra touch just to make it all that more special. And for me, that really stands out, because there's very few restaurants in South Africa that actually have people doing that. Yes. So for me, that really does stand out. Now, Gino, when you start talking Roma Revolving Restaurant, you know, I've traveled to various parts of the world, and I know that this is one of 31 in the world. I'm not sure if that number has changed over time.
No, not the last 10 years.
So it is still stands at one of 31.
No, this is 3 in the entire world like this.
All right, so we're talking about the revolving.
Yeah, which flow and a window revolving at the same time. There are 3 in the entire world. The other 27 revolving restaurants in the world, only the flow revolving, the window is stationary.
That's rather unique. I think that's what gives it so much more of its, you know, its uniqueness.
Yes.
And for me, it's such a treat. Now, I've been to one of the Roma Revolving restaurants, and there's a cover charge to actually enter the restaurant.
Oh yes.
And how is it that you've been able to maintain this over all the decades by not charging a cover charge?
I think we've been very lucky. You know, we own the property, you know, and Mr. Naidu bought it from me but 11 years ago. He bought the property from me, and he bought the business from me, and it's been maintained very stable, very good man, and he never had to worry about to pay the rent, never had to worry about anything.
Yes.
This is very important, because through the corona we were closed for 6.5 months.
Wow.
If it was not because of Mr. Naidu's financial position, we would never be alive. We would not be in existence anymore.
It always seemed that fate always favors you. When we look back in history with Mr. Ribeiro, who had so much of love for you, almost like a father-son relationship, like a mentor, one that's really inspired you to be where you are.
Yes.
And of course, with the COVID pandemic, you know, a lot of restaurants kind of suffered over that period of time. And here you have Mr. Naidu of the Reeling Group, who came to the rescue. And how is that relationship going right now with the Reeling Group of companies?
It's a wonderful. Mr. Naidu is a wonderful man. He's very kind. He's got a heart of gold. And we're very blessed, because we got our own boat for fishing.
Wow.
We got our own wine estates in Robertson, and we produce a very fine wine, not just an average. 4.5 star. Last year we won 2 John Plata medal, 4.5 star for Chenin Blanc and for Merlot.
That is remarkable.
It is. And all this wine, top quality wine, top, all of them.
And hopefully a little later, whilst you know, cooking up a storm, we could perhaps, you know, take a look at those wines as well at the same time.
Of course, because it's a very fine wine. Very often the customer, they say, where can I buy this wine? And unfortunately, you can buy nowhere.
Oh, so is it exclusive to this branch, or the Roma Revolving restaurants
No, it's
around the
exclusive
world?
to Roma, and then to I think Kevin and Naidu own 2 Lupa, and also I think they also sell River Gold wine.
All right, that's fantastic.
But look at the label of River Gold. It's RR. What a combination! It was not designed for Roma. It was bought before. So RR, Roma Revolving, River Gold. It's a so strange combination.
And
but it's an excellent quality. And very often the customer, they want to buy, and very often they buy a cases from us.
Yes.
They take away.
I love the RR name because it's synonymous with my name as well, being Ravi R, you know.
Yeah.
So it feels like close to home for me. And I think that's really exciting. Well done on all these accolades to date with the wines and so forth. But indeed, it is the food that and the service that brings people here time and time again. And it's your personality and it's your character being the front man for the Roma Revolving restaurant that gives it its uniqueness and you know, its
When
form.
I sold to Mr. Naidu, I thought I was going to retire. But okay, Mr. Naidu doesn't want me to go. He said, no Gino, no Roma. But I love it to be here. You know, this is my home. Being a single man, this is my home. It's my family.
Yes.
I love to. You know, I don't get up in the morning and say, oh, I must go to work now. No. I get up in the morning and I say to myself, I'm going to work.
Yeah, and
That's my feeling. I'm going to, and I can't wait to come here and be with my customer, being with the staff. Even sometimes the staff are giving me a hard time, but the customer is always great pleasure.
it always boils down to passion. It boils down to the fact that when you're so passionate about something, we don't call it work anymore. Because we do it for
through
the
the
love
years,
of it.
you know, you had the pleasure to meet so many wonderful people.
Tell us about it.
You know, I had the pleasure to have Hamid Bachchan come here for dinner.
Bollywood superstar Amitabh Bachchan,
Minister Shah Rukh Khan.
Another superstar.
I had the Margaret Thatcher come here for dinner. I had the Jimmy Carter, the President of the United States, twice came here for dinner with his wife. And it's been a great pleasure. And many, many other famous personality, you know, in the world have been coming here. It's been a great pleasure.
I'm sure, Mr. Gino, what is one memory?
I had the Tom Jones coming here.
Tom Jones.
Yeah.
He's the guy who does the track,
he
Sex Bomb.
had a show at the Beverly Hills Hotel. You were not born, but the Beverly
Probably
Hills
wasn't.
had the Copacabana, and they had an international artist coming every year for a season, for 1 month or 2 month season, different artists from different parts of the world. I had some wonderful people, in this restaurant.
I mean, that's really exciting. But Mr. Gino, of all these famous people you've met from around the world, which one stands out for you? Tell us about a memory that, you know, it takes you back, that it really stands out.
I think
Share that with us.
I think Jimmy Carter, the President of the United States, it was very impressive because when I asked him, I said, Mr. President, I would like to have a photograph with you. He went to his wife and asked his wife a permission. I mean, a president of the United States won the award for peace, the Nobel Prize for peace.
Yes.
But no, he went to his wife. He said, my darling, Gino would like to have a photograph with us. I never asked his wife to be in the photo. I wanted just photo with him. But he went to ask permission to his wife. Gino would like to have a photograph with us. Do you mind? That's the first time. And then we had a photograph taken together.
What a gentleman, of course.
And the second time is when they come back the following years, when he asked her, how come she speak a little bit of Italian? And she said she was a great friend of Frank Sinatra. So of course, so I told her, Frank Sinatra, I'm sure he must have sang for you some beautiful Italian songs. Said, oh yes, and my favorite is O Sole Mio. Oh my goodness. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not Frank Sinatra, but I'm going to sing a little bit of.
Oh, please do.
Little bit. No, not.
No, please sing for us.
And she was so impressed, she started crying. And Mr. Carter, he said to me, Gino, I can't believe it. You must mean so much to my wife, remind us so much of Frank Sinatra, because I only saw my wife 3 times in her life to cry. She never cried, my wife. Very hard heart. She cried when mother died, when Frank Sinatra died, and tonight I saw for the 3rd time I see my wife cry. So I was very touched.
So your singing must be so beautiful.
I don't know, but I love singing. I'm Italian. I'm a very romantic man, and I'm an old school.
So can you do maybe a few lines of the song that you sang for Mrs. Carter for us?
Okay, I'll try. Okay,
please.
Che bella cosa, una giornata di sole, un'aria serena dopo una tempesta, quell'aria fresca cade già una festa, che bella cosa una giornata di sole, manna du sole più belle te, oh sole mio, sta in fronte a te, oh sole mio, sta in fronte a te, sta in fronte a te.
Wow. I don't even have to know Italian,
Yeah.
but that just evokes such emotion within me. What does it
It's a
mean?
beautiful
Because
word.
it's so much of love in it.
You are my sunshine. Oh, sole mio. I'm talking to you and say, you are my sunshine. You're my everything in my life. You are the sun of my life. You shine in front of me. You know, what a beautiful thing. You know,
Yes.
to think that you are my sunshine
Yes.
in my life. You know.
Indeed,
Isn't
that's
it?
really special. And I'm sure Mr. Mr. Carter really
No,
appreciated
shame. I
that. and
appreciate
too.
so much, and it was so touchable. But I was very touched myself because when he told me his wife cried because I sang the song of Frank Sinatra and remind her the life and the relationship with the Frank Sinatra. I was very touched.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Gino, I also am aware that lots of businesses go through challenges like high staff turnover and so forth. But it's been different here at the Roma Revolving Restaurant for the past few decades
yes.
because I'm still aware
Yeah.
that you have staff who have been here for well over 3 to 4 decades.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us about some of the older
Yeah.
staff members who are still part of the team today.
I got some of the stuff in the kitchen started with me when they were 11-year-old. The father was used to work for me.
Right.
Now the son, the children, they are working for me. There are 4 in the kitchen. You know, they've been with me for over 40 years. And in the restaurant, I got 3 of the staff. They've been with me for more than 40 years. You know,
That
we had a
speaks
wonderful
volumes.
relation. You know, I respected them, they respect me, and that's the way it is. I always look after them the best ways I can. Always give them the best advice I can. You know, and sometimes they accept my advice, they listen to my advice, and we had a wonderful relation.
Well, you know, that clearly speaks volumes about your character and how you treat your staff, which is really, really
I'm an
special.
old-fashioned. You know, Mr. Ribeiro, he always said to me, so Gino, remember in life, respect, honesty, truth, and appreciate, value. Appreciate, that's very important in life. If you don't value me in life, you cannot value me in life, you're not a human being.
Yes.
That's never forgot that words. So I always respected the people, always been true to the people, I always been very straight and honest. Honesty for me is my priority. You know.
Mr. Gino, tell me, what's the most widely requested dish at the Roma Revolving
But I would love it
Restaurant?
to do it one for you. I would love you to see me doing something special at the table, which 4 years ago, the British Broadcasting Corporation of London, they put me in the world news 7 times.
Yes.
7 times, because they said there's nowhere in the world there are people still doing these dishes in the traditional style. I'm going to give you something called Chateaubriand.
Talk me through it. What's that about?
It's at the head of the fillet, been compact. We put it inside the papaya leaf. We put it away for 4 to 6 days in the fridge to mature, to age. The purple leaf does seal the meat, allow the meat to absorb all the blood. When the order comes, they take the leaf out. The chef shape the meat, seal it in the kitchen, just seal both sides, bring it to the table, and I finish off right in front of you.
Well, I must be honest, I can't wait
You have to try because
this.
it's something. I got a customer come from Germany 3 years ago before the corona. I had a group of 40 people from Austria. They phoned me a month before they came here. They said, Gino, the two leader, is I'm going to make you work very hard this night. That's why? Because I'm bringing 40 people, and all 40 people want a Chateaubriand.
Wow.
I got 20 Chateaubriand in one night, one party.
That's a lot.
20 Chateaubriand. When
Yeah.
I went home, I could feel it. But it was a great pleasure.
I'm sure.
It was a great pleasure. And these people came all the way from Austria to test my Chateaubriand. Last night I had a German family came for dinner. Come from Germany. They came for Zabaglione.
What's that?
Zabaglione is a yolk of eggs,
Yes.
sugar, and Marsala wine.
Oh, so that's a dessert.
It's a dessert.
Are you going to prepare that for us?
But I would have liked to do the crepe Suzette, I think.
Well, whatever you
I don't know
like.
what
I
you
mean,
prefer.
no.
The Zabaglione is eggs, sugar, and Marsala, very special.
I'll tell you what you do.
But maybe we can do both.
You surprise us because this is your home.
Okay, let's do both.
This is your place.
Something unique, something I love.
We'd love to see that.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Gino.
No problem. It's a great pleasure.
Let's do it.
Let me show you something of our special dishes at Roma.
Thank you.
You have heard it all. Catch Gino next week in part 2 as he preps his tantalizing dishes. And we get to experience more of Durban's iconic restaurant, the Roma Revolving Restaurant. Goodbye and God bless.